She used to call me her rock, her safe place. Then one morning, she didn't come home. When she finally did, she was laughing, reeking of whiskey, and said, "You should have known better. I married stability, not love." That night, while she slept, I packed the photos, the rings, and one very specific item she didn't know I found. My name's Will. I'm from Olathe, Kansas. I'm 38 years old. I work construction. Nothing glamorous. I get up early, work hard, come home tired. I've always believed in doing the right thing, showing up, keeping your promises. That's how I was raised. I met Rachel 5 years ago at a charity car show my cousin organized. I wasn't even supposed to be there. My truck had just broken down, and I was sweaty and pissed off, but my cousin begged me to show up and help with the setup. Rachel was there working PR for a nonprofit. She was smart, sharp, and not like the women I usually met. Confident in this way that made everyone in the room stop and notice. She talked to me first. Asked if I needed help carrying chairs. We started talking. It was easy. Too easy in hindsight. We started dating right after. Things moved fast, but it felt right. She used to call me her rock. Her safe place. I remember the first time she said that. We were lying on my couch, her head on my chest, and she whispered it like it meant something deep. I felt 10 feet tall. We got married a year later. Nothing big. Just a little church wedding. I'd saved for months to buy her a ring she'd mentioned liking once. Platinum band, small emerald stone in the middle. I even got it engraved inside. For my always. For a while, I thought I had everything. I built our home from scratch, literally. I spent weekends remodeling it. Tore out the old carpet, refinished the floors, fixed up the attic. She said she wanted a reading nook, so I made one in the corner of the living room. Painted it her favorite soft blue, put up some shelves, even got her a cozy chair she saw once online. She cried when she saw it. Hugged me for a long time and told me I made her feel like the luckiest woman in the world. That memory's been haunting me lately. Because somewhere along the way, she stopped looking at me like that. I didn't notice at first. It started small. She took a new job downtown at a marketing firm. Bigger company. She said she needed a challenge. I was happy for her. I wanted her to feel fulfilled. But soon she was staying late. Working weekends. Started wearing perfume to work again, stuff she hadn't worn since we were dating. I'd ask about her day. She'd give short answers. Tiring, busy, fine. She started going out with coworkers after work. Girls' night, she said. Team bonding. I didn't argue. I trusted her. God help me, I really did. Then came that night. She didn't come home. I waited up on the couch, thinking maybe her phone died, maybe she lost track of time. Midnight came. Then 2 a.m. Then 5. I called. Texted. Nothing. At 7:43 a.m., the garage door creaked open. She walked in laughing. Not the nervous, embarrassed kind of laugh, no. It was loud. Carefree. Like she was walking into a party, not the house of the man she'd left twisting in the dark all night. She reeked of whiskey and stale perfume. Her mascara was smeared. Her blouse was half-buttoned. Her shoes were in her hand. And then she saw me sitting on the edge of the couch, eyes bloodshot, still in yesterday's shirt. I said, "Where were you?" She stopped laughing and looked at me like I was some annoying neighbor. Not her husband. Not the man who spent 5 hours pacing the damn floor. And then she said it. Calm. Cold. Like she'd been rehearsing it. "You should have known better. I married stability, not love." That was it. That's what she said. Then she walked past me, humming. Like nothing happened. I sat there for a long time. Not moving. Not crying. Just empty. That night, she passed out in the guest bedroom. Left her phone on the floor. I didn't touch it. I didn't speak. I just went into the closet and pulled out the shoebox. It had everything. Our old pictures. The wedding programs. The rings. And one thing she didn't know I had. Printed emails. See, 2 months earlier, I had gone to her office to surprise her with lunch. I brought her favorite coffee from that overpriced place near the highway and a sandwich from the deli she loved. She wasn't at her desk, but her laptop was open. I wish I hadn't looked. I didn't mean to snoop. I just saw the screen, her Outlook inbox, with one email wide open. Subject line: "Last night was worth every risk." I clicked it. I wish I could unsee it. She wrote him a whole damn love letter. Told him how alive she felt when she was with him. Said she hated coming home to dead air and soft eyes. Called me her anchor, but not in the good way. He's just stability. I need passion. I need to feel alive, she wrote. And he replied, "Soon, babe. Just a little longer. Then you can have your freedom." That's what I was to them. A placeholder. A bank account with a wedding band. I printed every email. There were dozens. Some from their work emails, most from their personal accounts. I made copies. Saved them to a flash drive. Emailed myself a copy under a fake account. She never knew. Until it was time for her to know. The next morning, she acted like everything was fine. Woke up late, made herself a smoothie, didn't say a word about the night before. I watched her from the hallway. She had no idea I was looking. She moved around the kitchen like she owned it, like none of it meant anything. That was the worst part. The ease. I wanted to scream. I wanted to throw the blender out the window. But I didn't. I stayed quiet. That's when the plans started to form. I wasn't going to yell. I wasn't going to cry. I was going to burn it all down. Slowly. Carefully. Quietly. She left for work around 10. Said she had a strategy meeting. I knew what that meant now. Probably some hotel. Maybe his place. I didn't care. Let her dig her own grave. I opened the laptop. Used the passwords I already knew. She reused the same ones for years, pet names and birthdays. Found her shared calendar with him. They had meetings, scheduled every Thursday afternoon, always blocked off as client dev. The arrogance of it. I checked her texts too. They were worse than the emails. Photos. Messages about how stupid I was. "He's building me a house," she wrote once. "He sanded the floors with his bare hands. Poor man doesn't even know he's laying down the foundation for us." For us. That's when I knew I was done playing the nice guy. The first thing I did was meet with a lawyer. Not just any lawyer. A friend from high school who now works for a private firm in Kansas City. He's good. Ruthless when he needs to be. I told him everything. Showed him the emails. The messages. The dates, times, places. He said it was open and shut. Adultery. Misuse of marital funds. Emotional damage. We got to work. Rachel had no idea I'd taken her name off our joint accounts. No clue I'd frozen the credit cards. She just kept spending. Spa days. New outfits. Uber rides to client meetings. She even bought him a watch. I found the receipt. She paid in full using our shared savings. She didn't know I was draining it behind the scenes. I rerouted all our mail to my brother's place. Set up a P.O. box for the lawyer. I even called the realtor we used years ago and asked for a home value assessment. She laughed when she found out our house had nearly doubled in value. Rachel didn't notice a thing. The twist came 2 weeks later. She said she had a work retreat in St. Louis. Gone 4 days. No service. Company policy, she said. I nodded. Told her to have fun. She packed a suitcase full of new clothes I didn't recognize. She even wore heels I hadn't seen before. The perfume? Same one I smelled on her that first morning she came home reeking of whiskey. The second she left, I drove to his apartment. I wasn't going to fight him. I'm not built like that. But I had a USB in my glove box. And a manila folder. I waited until I saw him walk out alone. Followed him a few blocks in my truck, then parked. Walked up behind him at a gas station. "Mark?" He turned. His face went pale. I know I don't look like much, but I guess something about my expression told him this wasn't a random meeting. "I just wanted to give you this," I said. I handed him the folder. Thick. Heavy. Everything inside it, every email, every screenshot, every message. "You should probably read it. Especially the last page." He opened it on the hood of his car. Page after page. His hands started to shake. The last page was my lawyer's letter. It outlined the consequences of continued involvement with a married woman. Civil lawsuit options. Emotional damages. Asset division. He looked up, mouth open. "I'm not asking you to fix anything," I said. "But I wanted you to know what you're standing in." Then I walked away. That night, Rachel called me. Her voice was shaky. "Did you go to Mark's? Why do you ask? He's not answering." Maybe he's thinking about what it means to build something with someone else's bricks. Silence. I hung up. The next morning, she was back home. Standing in the kitchen when I came down. Pale. Quiet. "You've been watching me," she said. "No. You made it too easy." She sat down at the table. Started crying. I stood there. I didn't move. I didn't comfort her. "I didn't mean for it to get this far," she said. I said nothing. Then she asked the dumbest question I've ever heard. "Can we fix this?" I looked at her, and for the first time in 5 years, I saw her clearly. "No, Rachel. We're already past the fire. This is the ash." After that conversation in the kitchen, Rachel tried to act like she was sorry. She cried a lot. Started making dinner again. Said she wanted to reconnect. She even suggested counseling. That part almost made me laugh. Not because I didn't believe in therapy, but because the only time she ever talked about it before was when she said it was for people who couldn't handle their own lives. She was grasping at straws. I went along with it. Not because I wanted to save anything. That ship had sailed months ago. But I needed time. I needed her to feel safe, like I was starting to forgive her. Because there was still one more thing I had to do. One more piece of the puzzle. See, after I gave Mark that folder, he went silent. Deleted his social media. Blocked her number. I never saw him again. But I did see his wife. Yep. Mark was married too. I found out when I did a reverse search on one of the numbers he used. Turns out he and his wife, Ashley, lived just outside Lawrence. 2 kids. House in the suburbs. Real picture-perfect stuff. I sat on that info for weeks. Didn't rush it. I didn't want to ruin lives for no reason. But then Rachel slipped again. She didn't go to meet Mark anymore. She knew that door was closed. But she didn't stop looking. There were 2 others. I found texts. Different names. Different styles of conversation. One was a gym trainer. The other? Some finance guy she met at a conference. I recognized the background in one of her photos. Same hotel she claimed to stay at in St. Louis. It wasn't an affair. It was a pattern. She never loved me. Not really. I was just the floor under her feet while she climbed. That's when I decided Ashley deserved to know. I drove to her house. Saturday afternoon. I didn't know if she'd be home, but she was. The kids were playing in the yard. She was pulling weeds near the driveway. "Excuse me," I said. She looked up, cautious. "Can I help you? I think my wife had an affair with your husband." The color drained from her face. She stood up slowly. "What's your name?" she asked. Will Spencer." Mark's will? I nodded. She didn't cry. She didn't yell. She just asked me if I wanted to come inside. We sat at her dining table for over an hour. I showed her the emails, the messages, the calendar entries. She showed me Mark's old phone. Said he'd been acting off for months. Always nervous. Always defensive. When I left, I told her I was sorry. She shook her head. You didn't do this. A week later, I heard Mark moved out. His firm placed him on leave. Ashley filed for divorce. I didn't ask for that. But it happened. Rachel, meanwhile, still thought we were healing. She brought home takeout one night and kissed my cheek like it was normal. That kiss made my skin crawl. She had no idea the house was already listed. Quietly. My lawyer helped with that. She also didn't know I'd contacted her job. Now, I didn't do that to be petty. But I started to wonder, how much of our money was she spending for those work trips? Were they even approved? Were the company's name and cards involved? Turns out yes. A lot more than I thought. Her company launched an internal audit. She was suspended within 48 hours. Misuse of expense accounts. Her boss emailed me personally, thanking me for the information. Rachel came home shaking, holding a box of stuff from her desk. Said they were witch hunting her. That night, I handed her an envelope. What's this? She asked. Your copy of the divorce filing. Also, I need you to leave by Friday. She laughed. But when she saw my face, the laughter stopped. You're serious? I nodded. I was your rock, right? You used me to build your freedom. Now it's time you live in it. Rachel didn't believe me at first. She thought I was bluffing. Thought I was still the same guy she could walk over. The same man who sanded floors and paid bills while she chased passion. But I wasn't him anymore. The next morning, I had the locks changed. I gave her until Friday to get out, like I said. I didn't yell. I didn't insult her. I just stayed calm. Direct. Focused. She screamed, though. She begged. Then she got cruel. Said I was ruining her life. Said I'd always been a small man in a small town. You think you're punishing me? She yelled. You're just proving why no one ever really loved you. I didn't say anything. I just picked up the envelope from the table. It had the property sale agreement. I'd sold the house. Not just listed, sold. Closed. Done. And here's the twist she never saw coming. I didn't sell it to just anyone. I sold it to Ashley, Mark's ex-wife. She bought it below market rate after the divorce settlement. Told me she always loved the structure, the yard, the potential. I gave her every photo Rachel ever took in the house. Every memory. Every corner she once called home? Gone. Rachel found out the night before she had to move out. She was standing in the living room, holding a wine glass, when I handed her the real estate documents. She went pale. You sold it to her? Figured she'd appreciate the place more. You're disgusting. No. I'm just done letting you build your life on mine. She left that Friday with 2 duffel bags and nowhere to go. Her parents wouldn't take her back. She'd cut ties with most of her friends. The guy from the hotel? Ghosted her. The trainer blocked her after she got fired. She couch surfed for a while. I think she ended up living in someone's basement near Wichita. Meanwhile, I moved into a small condo near Overland Park. Nothing fancy, but peaceful. Quiet. Then came the part one didn't expect. I got a letter from Ashley about a month after the move. She'd had time to settle in. The kids loved the backyard, she said. She also enclosed a check. $5,000. Not much, the note said. But I know how much of your heart you left in this place. I figured it's only right someone gave something back. That letter broke me. I cried for the first time in months. Not out of pain. Out of relief. Then something else happened. I met someone. Her name's Janie. She works at the same lumberyard where I buy supplies. She's got rough hands and laughs with her whole chest. She doesn't try to fix me or make me someone else. She asks about the things I build, not just how much I make. She saw the cracks and didn't flinch. I told her everything one night. The whole story. She listened. Didn't try to change it or make it prettier. Just nodded, held my hand, and said, "Sounds like you're stronger than you thought." Maybe I am. Rachel? Last I heard, she tried to start a podcast about healing after betrayal. It flopped. Nobody wants advice from the villain in someone else's story. Mark left town. Never looked back. And me? I still keep a copy of that last email. The one where she said I was just stability. She was right. I was stability. And now that I'm standing tall again, I'm also peace. And peace is the one thing she'll never find.